Bit of a late one, but it had to be done sometimes, doesn't it? City, of course, yesterday absolutely battered Man United, and even though I've been busy all day, we really need to talk about Erling Haaland and the aftermath of that performance yesterday, because it was absolutely wonderful. It was wonderful stuff, and I still feel tired today. I'm drained and everything. I think it was so exciting and so brilliant that I feel like I've got a bit of a hangover, even though I'm absolutely fine. Genuinely. Before I jump into this, I do need to play his latest clip from the latest 888 Sport video talking about managerial legacies. Let me go over to it right now.
But is he really the fourth best manager in the Premier League? Is he really that?
I feel so.
I don't.
Who's better?
It's tricky, isn't it? Rob, what needs to happen this year for Arteta to be cemented fourth? Like, do you need to qualify for the European Cup?
I think he needs to get into the top four.
And what happens if you don't?
I think serious questions have to be asked. I feel now with the squad, got to get us into the top four.
If you don't get top four for whatever reason this season, and I do think you will get top four, but if you don't, is that a sackable offence? Because that would be 2 seasons on the trot you will have bottled.
I think if you get. You're not about bottling.
Yeah.
Tottenham fan telling me about bottling.
But you did bottle the end of last season.
I mean,
you did.
Jesus
you
Christ,
did.
what's the world come to?
Well, you did bottle it the end of last season.
I love you, Abby,
but
you know what I mean? A Tottenham fan telling me about
world come to.
Listen, he's under pressure to get top four. We missed out on a point by a point last season. Well, to be fair, at the start of the season, I thought we had no chance of getting top four. But this season, I'm looking at it and think we do have a good chance of getting it. Chelsea, new manager, Man United in transition as well.
I still think that Spurs will finish above Arsenal, but I do think both of us will end up in the top four.
So there we go. That's the latest video over on 888 Sport, where they're trying to rank the top 5 managers in the Premier League. I do think, by the way, at this point, given Arsenal's start to the season, if they don't get top 4 now after this start, they would have bottled it, and I think Arteta would come under an immense amount of pressure. I think that's probably fair, because you set the expectations by your own performances, and right now we set it really high. For me, the top 5 managers in the Premier League, well, Pep's at the very top. Klopp is up there, of course, as well. Pep Conte and Klopp right up there next to each other. After that, I mean, who else? Ten Hag didn't look too great yesterday. He was a bit naive, to be honest. And then Potter, maybe great manager. Arteta could be up there too. Go and let them know over on 880 Sport your top 5 managers. But I think Arsenal right now and Arteta, I understand the arguments for him. He's really, really improving Arsenal, and I can't deny that they've got a bit of an identity, and they are top of the league as it stands, so it looks really good for them, so fair play. But I tell you what looks better for Manchester City. 880 Sport, by the way, link in the description. Go over to that video, give it a like, let you know in the comments. But right now, I want to talk about Erling Haaland, because, you know, this man is absolutely wonderful. I want to talk about the legacy of this man. I want to talk about what he's potentially going to achieve already, because honestly, the level that he's reaching at Manchester City already, it's sort of frightening. And this video is called The Aftermath for a reason. I have not really seen many social media reactions and outbreaks and breakdowns as I have over the past few years, as I have then with Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland is absolutely terrifying the Premier League, and the best thing about it is he's ours. He's ours, and I do think people were hoping and wishing and maybe sort of trying to expect that he would fail in the Premier League, but I don't think many people thought he would be good as he actually is. I saw a video on a Man City forum earlier today that said all of Erling Haaland's 20 goals and assists so far from Man City. 20. It is literally October the 3rd. It was October the 2nd yesterday when they played. 20 goals and assists already. It's absolutely insanely good. And it's not just that we knew he was going to score a lot of goals. It's just the manner in which he's doing it. It's the manner that he's making a bunch of elite top-level footballers look like little kids and tossing them about. It's absolutely insane. And I don't think we quite realise the legacy. Now, here's a little story for you. I was on Manchester City's matchday live show yesterday, which is an incredible experience. I did the Poznan with Sean Goater. Hopefully that'll come out on City's content at some point. But I did the Poznan with Sean Goater, for crying out loud. It was amazing. Anyway, I was doing the post-match reaction with Kel and Sean and David James. And I was looking out at the pitch, right? And Haaland was out there doing the post-match interviews. And I was just kind of looking over, but then obviously paying attention to the questions in the studio. At one point I looked down and I noticed this lad, he was only about 2 meters away from Haaland, kind of run over to him. I didn't know where the lad had come from, and get a picture of Haaland. And I don't think anyone really thought anything of it until it was really obvious that this lad then just started running across the pitch. The stadium was empty at this point, running across the pitch towards the away end. And I was like, that's a fan. He's waited around afterwards. All of a sudden, the stewards all just realised what was going on. I could see from the box where I was set up, all the stewards emerging onto this guy and chasing this guy who tried to escape through the away end, who had obviously hung around post-game, been sat in the away end just to sneak onto the pitch, just to get a photo with Erling Haaland. Could you imagine that with Aguero or David Silva or even KDB, Pep? No. Genuinely not. I mean, it confused me. It blew my mind watching this level of fandom. This is the kind of fandom that you get with genuine superstars. I'm not talking KDB or Aguero here. I'm talking Messi and Ronaldo level superstardom. This is what I saw, and it's a little anecdote, but I was like, well, look at that. Someone's willing to get arrested and hang around the weekend and break onto a pitch after the game just to get a photo with Erling Haaland. Gary Neville was talking a lot tonight on the Monday Night Football, and I saw the quotes came out. He was talking a lot about how, I think people are going to start coming to the Etihad just to get a glimpse of this guy this early on in his career, because we're going to be talking about an all-timer here. And I think he's right. I think we are going to see a super level of fandom and superstardom around Erling Haaland that we at Manchester City are just not used to. I think KDB has hinted at it, and Pep, of course, has got that aura too. But I don't think Aguero and Silva and so on have ever transcended like their club, if that makes sense. A lot of football fans will appreciate them, but I do think in general, Erling Haaland is going to transcend Manchester City Football Club. Erling Haaland FC is going to be a thing. There are going to be people who support Erling Haaland in the way that people supported Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. It's going to be that level, and it's going to be really, 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 really weird. It's really weird. We're not used to it, but it's essentially we're witnessing the birth of a genuine superstar here, and I find it crazy, and it is going to be nice. Yeah, Mo said it must be nice when you're going to 5k at the end of the season. Maybe not even the end of the season. I put a bet on him getting 40 Premier League goals back in July. I knew it was going to happen. It's looking pretty good right now. It wins me 5. I only paid 20 quid. It'll win me 5k. But I guess that's what I wanted to talk about, really. Like the manner in which we destroyed Man United must be terrifying for everyone else. This was a renewed Manchester United. This is a Manchester United that all the pundits and everyone would try to convince you was getting back to their best. A renewed optimism, a great manager, some good new signings, and this brilliant 5'8" centre back or whatever, and a great young one from Ajax, and Fernandes and Eriksen, and Rashford's found his form and all this kind of stuff. It was meant to be the derby where everyone would see City get put a little bit back in the box and showed to look fallible. And guess what happened? I'm going to say it was an utter humiliation. I don't think it's exaggeration to say that if City didn't want to rest 5 players, this could have been ended up 8-1, 8-0 or something like that. Genuinely spectacular performance of Manchester City, where we showed the golfing quality is enormous. As much as Man United think they've improved, they are absolutely nowhere near Manchester City's level. And I think yesterday, the most important thing for me is I think it's the first time we saw the total synergy of what we want from a Manchester City side containing Erling Haaland. Guardiola said, apparently Guardiola asked Erling Haaland to settle back into drop into midfield a little bit more, have more touches on the ball. He isn't happy with the idea of Haaland apparently scoring 5 goals in 5 touches. He wants more from a player. That isn't good enough, allegedly, which I think is fascinating. And he told Haaland to drop a little bit deeper and get more involved. And we saw him have more touches on the ball yesterday than he's had in any previous game for Manchester City, I think. Like 30, 40 touches or something like that, which is way, way more than he usually does. And look at the impact he had on the game. Dropping deep, linking play, 2 assists, breaking down both sides, and playmaking as well. It's quite frightening to see that synergy of Erling Haaland's immense natural ability as a goal scorer, which we all know he's got, but also linking up with those magical footballers around him: Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Gundogan. To me, it was the first time we'd seen a true synergy of what he brings and what Manchester City can give to him entirely, and what he can learn from Manchester City. It looked like the Erling Haaland had been influenced by us as opposed to we've been influenced by him, if that makes sense. It looks like he was learning from Manchester City as much as we're enjoying him be a Man City player. And that to me was frightening, because we're not even near his peak and potential yet. As Mo just said, the pass to Foden was KDB-esque. It was wonderful. And him dropping deep and playing a little through ball as well to Foden for the last one. It's wonderful. I mean, it's quite remarkable. Mark with a super chat, my man Mark. Well, win them all, Mark. Says, I genuinely think Haaland will have 60 plus in all comps. If he plays 50 odd games, you'll get 60 plus. I think it's as simple as that as well, really. I apologise for the late stream, by the way, everyone. It's just, I was tired today. I have a lot on. But yeah, I think he probably could do that as well, Mark. I absolutely think he could. I mean, I've got 40 in the Premier League, so why not in all comps? I think he's going to score an insane amount of goals because why not? There's absolutely no reason why he would not carry on other than injuries. And fingers crossed we can manage him perfectly on that front. But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that the Premier League is terrified of this guy. I'm going to go over here to the stats now and jump over to here. I mean, look at these stats. Harry Kane is having a wonderful season. 0.89 minutes per goal for Harry Kane, which is quite remarkably good when you look at this here. So there we go. Harry Kane, 0.89 goals per 90, which is just ridiculous. 101 minutes per goal for Harry Kane, which is once again ridiculous. See that there? 101 minutes per goal. It's a stupid stat for Harry Kane. But that is amateur compared to Erling Haaland. 14 goals, double the amount of goals Harry Kane has scored, who is averaging a goal just over every game, 101 minutes. Haaland is averaging a goal every 48 minutes. Roughly every half of football, Haaland is averaging a goal. Like, what can you say about that? I mean, that is... it's absolutely ridiculous. It's on another level good. He's on another level good. And then, of course, you see the fact that he's got 3 assists as well. I mean, 17 goals or assists. I mean, someone do the maths there. I mean, how many minutes has he played? He's averaging 1.89 goals per 90. Just under 2 a game. Just under 2 a game. A 45% conversion accuracy and a 65% shot accuracy too. I mean, then you look at the top assists over this side, and you've got Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne has doubled the next highest amount of assists, which is Bernardo Silva, by the way. But then double Bukayo Saka. And Erling Haaland is currently in joint third with 3 assists. The level that these Manchester City players are operating, it's like Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne is the assisted version of Erling Haaland, if that makes any sense. He is like as good as setting up goals as Haaland is as finishing them. Like, Haaland is a freakishly good creator, and KDB is a freakishly good... So Haaland is a freakish finisher, and KDB is a freakishly good creator. But the difference is, for the past 2 years, Kevin De Bruyne has not had someone of his level to feed. He hasn't. But now look what he's got. He's got 8 assists, 19 big chances created already. That is absolutely insane. More than double the next in 1.25 with Bernardo. Bernardo's stats are phenomenal already, but they aren't even coming close to what Kevin De Bruyne is operating at. I mean, this is what we're seeing right now. We are seeing a level of quality that I didn't think was probably even... Well, I don't think a lot of people thought was probably possible in the Premier League. I mean, I think I did, actually, to be honest. Like, I've been banging that drum for ages, and I've got the videos and the stats and the receipts to prove it, but it's remarkable. My man Jerry, Big Jerry Energy, said, Haaland makes a spectacular normal. He is a human video game. I've never been so excited to watch a player as him. Soak it in, lads. Jerry, exactly, mate. You've got to enjoy this because it's just remarkable witnessing what we're witnessing right now. Like, what more can we say? What more can we say about a man this talented and this wonderful other than just soak it in and enjoy it? He is a human cheat code. And we've got 2 of them. 2 human cheat codes, man. We've got Haaland and we've got KDB. Riley, by the way, brilliant. No nicotine. Good on you, Riley, man. Good on you, giving up smoking. Frank, me and Nicola are very good. Baby not here yet, but baby will be here soon eventually. Harold Holst Svedosvold? I can't pronounce that. I'm so sorry, pal. 4 seasons and a few games. Haaland is greater than Shearer record. I think Shearer's record is like, Shearer Premier League goals. It's a lot in it. I think he's got like 200 and something. How many has he got? 260. Look, he's not going to get 260 in 4 seasons. He probably in 5 or 6 seasons will do it. Yeah, he could get 50 a season or something. I don't know. Who knows? But he'll do it in 6 seasons if he stays, which is crazy. It's a remarkable... But thank you for the super chat, mate. It's a remarkable level that he's playing at. But once again, like, baby single, yeah, indeed. But once again, like, when you look at the level, it's not just... The best thing about it is we get to see full fat Kevin De Bruyne, not this semi-skim version. We get to see Kevin De Bruyne at his very best, and that is the result. he's averaging an assist a game, and Haaland is averaging nearly 2 goals a game. I mean, it's everything I hoped it would be. And the best thing is, I don't really think we're at our full best yet. And I think Guardiola knows that, and I think everyone else knows it as well in the league. I think they're all terrified of this. When you look at the table over here, you know, Arsenal currently out on top, and fair play to them. But City are obviously chasing them down. But you look at the goals scored, 29 goals. We're averaging over 3 goals a game currently, which is remarkable. You know, goal difference of plus 20. We're only 1 point behind Arsenal, but it's looking real good here. It's looking really, really good. And the stats going around today, it's just the wife's in the chat saying baby soon come. That better not be an announcement. But the stats where you see him breaking the records of the quickest to 3 hat-tricks in Premier League history previously was 48 games, which is just, season and a half, just under 2 seasons for a lot of people. He's done it in 8 games in 3 Premier League hat-tricks. He only needs 9 more goals to get to match the top goal scorer from last season. 9 more goals. That which is remarkable. And he only needs how many more now? 18 to match the all-time record in 28 games. No, 30 games. He needs 18 in 30 games to match the Premier League goal scoring record. 18 in 30 games. Look, if he doesn't get, I think if he doesn't get another, there's 30 games there. Presume he doesn't play 5 of them. He'll play 25 of those 30 games. I would expect he would score 30 goals in those 25 games, which that would leave him 44 goals in the Premier League. I think he'll get something like that. It's quite remarkable. I mean, if he stays fit, if he plays all the games, he gets 50 goals, which is just absolutely ridiculous. There's going to be a game as well, and we all know it, and you know it, and I know it, where he scores 5. He scores 5 goals in one game, and then he'll get a hat-trick 2 games later, then another single, so on. He'll have a period where he scores 10 goals in 3 games, or something like that, which is just insane. And we know he's going to do it. Remarkable. Super chat as well from Harold again. It says, in current rate, he will, and he'll get even better. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Indeed, the current rate. The league is shitting themselves right now, Beppe. It really is. It's on another level what he's achieving, what he's accomplishing. And when we used to miss these sitters, Andy, you're right. When we used to miss these sitters, now it feels like we just don't miss sitters anymore because Haaland is there always, and Haaland is there doing what he needs to do, and it's quite remarkable. I love it. I absolutely love it. And then of course you look at what he's bringing out of Phil Foden, It's quite wonderful to witness what Erling Haaland and Phil Foden are doing together as a partnership. And I think even the best of Jack Grealish was there yesterday. Jack Grealish finding a little bit of space and running at people. He was aggressive. He was alert. He was really up for that game from the first minute. Look, right now, we could be seeing potentially the best incarnation of a Guardiola side. We all think the 17, 18, 19 teams are good. This could be even better because I love Sergio, but you know what? I think Haaland's probably going to be better. And I don't think Sergio had more probably individual magic to his game. Well, he did. Sergio had more individual magic, but for me, I think the way that Haaland, the way that he moves and creates chances himself with his strength and physicality, I think he's going to surpass him. I think his legacy in the game, we're talking about not just one of the great strikers of his generation. I think we're talking about potentially one of the greatest of all time. I think Erling Haaland could go down as the best ever goal scorer in football. Which is insane. I mean, I'm not going to say he's the best ever player because obviously that was Messi for me, and Ronaldo did have a more complete game, I can admit that, but maybe he'll get there in time or whatever. But when it comes to pure goal scoring and pure brilliance in front of goal and putting the ball in the back of the net, we could be looking at the beginning of someone who's the best to ever play the game. This is quite crazy, and he's a Manchester City player, and more than a Manchester City player, he's a Manchester City fan. Can you imagine the impact that Erling Haaland is having around the Premier League right now? Can you imagine how many players are terrified of him? Can you imagine how many young people around this country, not just this country, from as far flung as, Kuala Lumpur or in Buenos Aires or up in Vancouver in Canada or over in Oslo in Norway or down in Marrakesh or in Lisbon or whatever or in Canberra I don't know, over in Tokyo, who are watching the Premier League right now and falling in love with Erling Haaland. How many young people want to be a Manchester City fan like Erling Haaland? They want to play like him. They want to do his celebrations, and they know he's a City fan as well. He is going to change the trajectory of this club. We were already on the way up, but I feel like we've just finally unlocked our final form, and Erling Haaland is that key, that big, beautiful 6'5" key who is absolutely going to increase Manchester City's profile. The catalyst, of course, was Pep Guardiola. But the final nail in the coffin of anyone who could doubt Manchester City's growth is going to be Erling Haaland. And I've never been more certain of something in my life, because that guy is a superstar. He's a superstar. You go to any park and watch kids play football, and I guarantee you they'll be doing the Erling Haaland impressions. They'll be doing the celebrations. They'll be doing that one as well where he does that. They'll be doing everything. They'll be doing all his stuff because that's what he does, and he's enigmatic, he's charismatic, he's brilliant, he's going to smash records, and ultimately Erling Haaland is like when you played FIFA or Pro Evolution and you made yourself on it, and you made yourself 6'5" and lightning quick, and you put all your stats to the max. That is what he is, and he's ours, and he's one of us. Thank you to the wife who likes the sofa behind me. What's everyone's verdict on the sofa? I'm not sure if it fits the room. I don't know if it fits the room or not. I'll go back here and just, it's going to be a little TV stand here, right there, a little TV stand there, and, I don't know. I'm not sure about it. I'm not sure. Back over to here, the super chats. Kyle said, thank you so much. Do you think that's our best front three? Yeah, potentially, Kyle. If we need to get Bernardo in on the right and Foden on the left, I'm fine with that. But if we're going for pure attackers, I mean, the only thing is I like Gundogan. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is. I mean, Mahrez isn't in it currently. I love him. I could take Bernardo as a right winger if we had to kind of get him on the pitch every now and then if Gundogan's playing in midfield instead. But I ultimately think that probably is what Guardiola would choose for a while now. Grealish, if he plays in that form, absolutely will be there. Look, he has a very different approach to Foden, but they're both lively and aggressive, and he works really hard, and he was brilliant. There's a lot to be said for that. A lot to be said for it. Jerry says Haaland elevates everyone in the squad. Big Jerry energy. He is what takes this team to the level we've all been dreaming of. Ballon d'Or soon come. Let's fucking go, indeed, Jerry. And he is. He won't win the Ballon d'Or this year because Benzema's going to get it or whatever. Lewandowski, but when we won the Champions League in May, maybe he'll win it the year after. He will do because he would have scored. I think. Do you know what he's coming for? Do you know when Messi scored? And was it how many goals? Let me Google it now. Messi calendar year goals in terms of like the 1st of January to the 30th to the end of December. Do you remember Messi scored like 90 odd in one calendar year? I think, Jerry and everyone else, that's what he's going for. Genuinely, I think he's going for that level. Of 91 it was, yeah. I think he's going to go for that. He's going to aim for that, in my personal opinion. And I think he could get there. I'm going to look at Messi's stats now. Let's have a look. Where was it? So what year was it when Messi did that? Someone let me know. What year was it? I can't remember. It's like 2010 or something, isn't it? Was it? No, it was not 2010. It was a lot later than that. It was like 13, 14 or something, was it? So let's have a look. I go to Messi's stats over here. Messi's just insane, man. He's on another level. So it was, there you go. It was 2011, 2012. So you go over here and now look at these stats from Messi. Jesus Christ, Messi's ridiculous. He's just an insane. So that season there, 11-12, when Messi scored 15-37. If Haaland plays 37 games this season, he scores 52. But then he scored 73 and 60 that season. Haaland is capable of doing that if he stays fit. Absolutely capable. In fact, I think it'd be disappointing if he didn't do that if he stays fit. And then he scored 60 and 50 the year after, and 46 and 32. This is what Haaland is going to do, in my opinion. See these two seasons here, right in the middle, 11 and 12 and 12-13, where he says 50 and 37 and 46 and 32. That is the level Haaland's aiming for. I can see him doing that. How many games will he play in a calendar year? I don't know. It's something like that. But I can see that is the level he's going to be aiming for, which is quite remarkable. It's a stupid level, but to me, it's realistic. No, he can't score those numbers in the Premier League. I disagree. I just disagree, unfortunately, pal. He's already on 14 in how many games? 8? He's already on 14 in 8. I don't see why he can't carry on. I just don't see it. I think like he's got the world's best creator and the world's best manager. And like to me, he's not going to stop scoring goals. He's never stopped scoring goals. He scored a goal a game at every club he's ever played for. But now he's playing for the best club in the world, in my personal opinion, with the best passer in the world and the best crosser in the world. I would expect nothing but an improvement than a goal a game when he's got the players that Manchester City have got and the chances that we can create for him. And we're seeing right now the product of a guy who gets more chances and better chances because he's at a better team. So instead of just a goal a game, he gets more than a goal a game. I don't see how it slows down. I just don't see it. I can't see him having playing 10 games in a season where he doesn't score a single goal. No, he's going to have. If he plays 35 Premier League games, I would say 3 or 4 at max he doesn't score in a game, which is mental, absolutely mental. He'll probably get 5 or 6 you probably get 6, 7 hat tricks this season. You'll probably get a 4 or a 5. I mean, if you got 6, 7 hat tricks, that's 18 to 21 goals, and then get a 4. There's a 25. He's going to have plus over 20 goals from just around 10 games at one point, which is he could do it in the next couple of games. Like. He's redefining what goal scoring looks like, and I fucking love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, I don't think there's anything they could do about it other than injuries. It's just someone said that Percy will be sad if my club turns into the Haaland show. Do you reckon Barcelona fans were sad that it turned into the Messi show? You know what I mean? We were the fucking De Bruyne show for a while. Do you reckon Real Madrid fans were arsed that it was the Ronaldo show? Or, Barcelona were asked that it was the Ronaldo, Luis de Nazario show many years ago? Or do you think, Spurs were ever asked that it was the Bale show? No, of course they're not, man. Like, I think you're overthinking it. Like, enjoy what you get and, like, enjoy the brilliance that he brings and the goals, because I absolutely love watching people who offer ridiculously what they do be as good as they can be. And to me, Haaland is the epitome of joy in football. Like, he is brilliant, he's ruthless, but he's also entertaining with it. He's not just some dour, personality-free, lethal striker. He's witty in a weird, dry, awkward way. He absolutely exudes energy on the pitch. He's thirst for hunger, his professionalism, his work rate. It's inspirational in his way. It really is. And I love the fact that he's absolutely committed and he celebrates like he's just scored a first goal in his career every single time. There's a real lust and hunger for football. You can sense that he has this thirst for goals, man. Is it fun to talk about Haaland maybe scoring 200 goals in the next 4 seasons? Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. I can't think of anything more fun than watching a Manchester City fan. I'd understand slightly if we just signed someone else's legend. If Messi came here a little bit and he took over everything. But we signed a guy who supports Manchester City Football Club. What more could be... what could you enjoy than that? This guy cares about the club longer than most of us in the comments. Not in a bad way, just because some of you guys are quite young and he's been watching Man City. Look, this guy has a connection to Man City that none of us understand. His dad played for Manchester City. Like, I don't understand that, None of our dads play for Man City. Like, he has a different level of connection. Like, he grew up where this club, like, literally paid for his life, Like, he has a different, a different aura. MCFC said I met Haaland yesterday in the VIP lounge. Nice bloke. He's fucking huge. As a defender, I'd be scared. Yeah. Haaland's Insta followers growing. Really? What's it at? Well, I don't even know where he's at. His Instagram followers. Like, to me, Haaland changes everything, and I love it. Let's have a look on his Instagram now. He's loving life. He's at 19 million followers. How many followers is that when he joined? Does anyone know? I think it is growing very quick, isn't it? I don't think it was at 19 million now. I don't think it's anywhere near that, actually. I think he's added a few million since, but, I mean, he was at 40 when he joined. Is that actually true? Probably is. But either way, that's a rapid increase. That's like a 30-40% increase already, which is roughly the 30-40% increase in what he usually scores, so he's consistent. I'll give him that. He's going to be wonderful. And he has a buyout clause because he's a sensible person. He's going to ask everyone. The next club he goes to will have a buyout clause as well, But I don't worry about that stuff. I worry about the here and now. But either way, that performance yesterday, let's sum it up by talking about City United. I loved it. I loved that we gave them so much pain and so much misery. We were so much better than them. We were on another level to anything that they could muster. And the gap between us and them has never felt bigger. You know, it was weird because obviously they felt like they had a good team, but they had a real humbling, and it was remarkable to witness the City turn up and be that dedicated. And Haaland was right, man. He said he sent something special, and that's what we got, something special. And like a City yesterday, from every man through to the last. I mean, I've not even mentioned the defence yet. Akanji, oh my God, Akanji looks like Vincent Kompany reincarnated with an added Pep Guardiola touch, like a little bit more composed on the ball, but a same level of physicality and power and a little bit of pace to his game. And Ake as well, bringing the ball out of defence. Like Ake was wonderful, absolutely wonderful yesterday. You know, it was great to see Sergio Gomez get on the pitch, another City fan, and celebrating so ferociously when he got his assist as well. Lovely stuff. And of course as well, KDB being brilliant, you know, Gundogan quietly and intelligent and efficient at the heart of midfield. What Rodri? You know, we were all worried about Rodri before the game, but we didn't even miss him. Not even for a second, you know. Bernardo was just immense. To me, after probably Foden and Haaland, Bernardo was probably the one that deserved most of the credit, because I think he was everywhere. It was a quiet masterclass from Bernardo Silva. You know, obviously the assist early on to get the goals going, but it was more than that. It was his work rate, and it was his understanding of the flow of the game. It was understanding of what was required from him due to a lack of Rodri there. You know, obviously we know Rodri. He knew he needed to be a little bit deeper potentially to sit alongside Gundogan and help defensively, and that's what he did. And it was wonderful. He's more than a workhorse, Daniel. He's a brilliant footballer, and he's everything. He's everything you want. He's the perfect midfielder. He's immense. And of course, Jack Grealish. Like, I loved that version of Grealish yesterday. The aggression, the dynamism in his game. Like, he made it look stupid, and he was disappointed to come off yet again. And I love that hunger from him. And it isn't always just about goals or assists. He was involved in everything yesterday, Jack Grealish, and that is wonderful. Guys, I want to talk about Haaland. We've talked about Haaland, so I'm going to leave it there. But thank you very much for watching. You're all wonderful. Let's hit the subscribe button if you don't mind. Go check out that 888 Sport video where they're ranking the top 5 Premier League managers. Of course, go over to the comments. Click the video in the link in the description below, and just all of you right now, all 200 odd of you watching, go and click the video and say Stephen sent you, and say Pep is the best, he's the GOAT, because we all know it's true. Go and do it right now. Pep needs to get his roses because no one else gives him the credit that he deserves. We have to do it as City fans, so do it right now. I might do a 5 things learned video tomorrow morning if you want, before I do my match preview if you want me to. If you want me to, let me know in the chat. Good night. You're all wonderful. You're all beautiful. Bye-bye.